After an 8-year run, SWAT premiered its final 2 episodes on Friday, May 16. This marks the 3rd time CBS has cancelled the show, and it seems unlikely the network will reconsider its decision. However, not all hope is lost. The cast has launched a campaign to save SWAT, and star Annie Ilonzeh has given an optimistic update. Nothing has been confirmed, but she shares that a streaming service may be interested in picking up the police procedural. As it stands, Season 8, Episode 22, Return to Base, serves as the series finale, and it brings the show to a heartfelt conclusion. The installment ends with Gamble deciding to stay on the team, and 20 Squad exiting headquarters to save the city. Ilonzeh reveals that the cast was aware of the cancellation when filming the final scene, making SWAT's ending authentic and bittersweet. Annie Ilonzeh: "Man, you know what? I don't. I think it's really interesting to see people, characters, let's say, if we're talking TV, or just real-life people that are in tough spots, and you don't know what decision to make. It's relatable, it's very real, it's super flawed, and it's interesting to also be like, well, hindsight, I would have done this. And then somebody else goes, well, I would have done this, and it really kind of builds that discussion. I like the decision that Gamble made, honestly. When it comes to family, we all can relate that the dysfunction or just the contradictory aspects of family are super real, and they are hard, and the push-pull and that tug-of-war is like no other. When I think about my own experiences with my family, I'm like, why would I do that? It's the lessons learned after the fact that are probably the most important. And let's say if there's a world where we saw a season 9 where we saw her thought process through that, we'd be like, oh, okay. There were some lessons learned, and we'd be able to get into the psyche of why she did that. But in that moment, I agree with Gamble. Annie Ilonzeh: Hondo has that big brother, tough love vibe for sure. If the shoe was on the other foot, he doesn't do that with Gamble at all, and he certainly doesn't lead with empathy in the beginning. He's very tough, and I think he was disappointed with her. But she's like, I'm disappointed with you. Where are you? My family doesn't ride for me, and you are the leader of 20 Squad. Why aren't you riding for me too? Yeah, I do think he was super tough, but I do like that. And I also will say there's kind of a nod that Shima and I have personally, but also Gamble and Hondo have, where we're these two people of color, and we get it. There's really an internal push-pull of, the fact that you're not riding for me and there ain't a lot of us out here doing this together, that's very insulting. But it also works. You can't really have resolution without massive obstacles, and I like that. I like seeing that. Because then again, when you do see that scene at the very end, they come back together and have that moment. Annie Ilonzeh: yes, much stronger. And he divulges his breaking point and where he could have been better. And to see somebody like that in such a leadership role, maybe take the L or wave the white flag and say, here's where I could have done better, and learn from that situation is really cool. That's also just a good person. Annie Ilonzeh: I am just as confused as the audience, literally. Laughs. I'm like, what happens? We leave it on such a cliffhanger with that relationship. What went on after that? I'd like to see a family barbecue. Let's just kind of paint the scene here. I'd love to see a really dope family barbecue. Everyone's getting along at first. Dad's there, brother's there, and then there is a blowout with Gamble and her brother. Leon and Gamble just get into it. I would love to see that. I think family mishaps and arguments are really interesting to watch. Annie Ilonzeh: we went to props, and we were like, look, these watches need to either be Rolex or Cartier, and they need to be real, and we want to keep them. They were not, and we did not keep them. And even throughout the set, because we knew that we were cancelled by CBS, we were like, what can we take as our own just personal mementos? There's also the famous chessboard. There's an episode where Powell and Stevens are playing chess, and this chessboard is very superstitious and we're like, don't pick up a piece and move it and do all these things. We were like, okay, let's take a piece from the chessboard, and the producers were adamant. They were like, do not take anything. And we were kind of like, oh, maybe this is a really cool sign. We need these things. So no, we didn't take the watches. The only thing that we did take was our wardrobe. We have a great wardrobe department. I like to live through Gamble in real life. It's awesome to still have a piece of her.